Ladies and gentlemen, the pleb is back. In this report, we have an absolute bombshell here today as President Trump sends a warning to Pierre Poilievre and Justin Trudeau that he's 100% coming to take Canada. Also tonight, it appears that Elon Musk has a serious crush on Pierre Poilievre as he continues sharing content of Canada's next Prime Minister. And in our last story of the night, a Dairy Queen in British Columbia is offering a special discount for Trudeau's resignation, and the left, well, they're losing their bloody minds. You won't want to miss this report. Stick around. Before we start this report, all I'm asking is you smash subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Over here on this channel, we make fun of the ridiculous left. So if you think the left are completely wacko, smash subscribe and let's start the report. Well, folks, after Justin Trudeau's resignation, shit has officially hit the fan. With Canada being at its weakest since Trudeau completely destroyed our country, President Trump smells blood and is on the attack, and it appears he's very serious about acquiring Canada.
We'll impose new tariffs so that the products on our stores will once again be stamped with those beautiful words, made in the USA. And we are not treated well, as you know, by Canada. Canada is subsidized to the tune of about $200 billion a year, plus other things.
Wow.
They don't essentially have a military. They have a very small military. They rely on our military. It's all fine, but, you know, they got to pay for that. It's very unfair. I have so many great friends. One of them is the great one, Wayne Gretzky. I said, run for prime minister. You'll win it'll take 2 seconds. But he said, well, am I going to run for prime minister or governor? You tell me. I said, I don't know. Let's make it governor. I like it better. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada, because Canada, they come through Canada too, and the drugs that are coming through are at record numbers. So we're going to make up for that by putting tariffs on Mexico and Canada, substantial tariffs. And we want to get along with everybody, but, you know, they have to, it takes two to tango. We're approaching the dawn of America's golden age. It's going to be a golden age for America.
I don't think the dude is bluffing anymore, but tell me what you think in the comments. But things actually got even crazier at this press conference as Trump, for the first time, acknowledged Pierre Poilievre and let him know, I'm coming to take Canada.
You're serious about making Canada 51st state of the United States. The leader of the Conservative Party in Canada said, under no circumstance will it ever be the 51st state.
Maybe he won't win, but maybe he will. I don't care.
You had suggested
maybe he won't win, maybe he will. I don't care. Eesh. Trump is not messing around here.
Maybe he won't win, but maybe he will. I don't care.
You had suggested.
Listen, I don't care what he says.
But Sir, real fast, you said you were considering military force to acquire Panama and Greenland. Are you also considering military force to annex and acquire Canada?
No, economic force, because Canada and the United States, that would really be something. You get rid of that artificially drawn line, and you take a look at what that looks like. And it would also be much better for national security. Don't forget, we basically protect Canada. But here's the problem with Canada. So many friends up there. I love the Canadian people. They're great. But we're spending hundreds of billions a year to protect it. We're spending hundreds of billions a year to take care of Canada. We lose in trade deficits. We're losing massive. We don't need their cars. You know, they make 20% of our cars. We don't need that. I'd rather make them in Detroit. We don't need the cars. We don't need their lumber. We have massive fields of lumber. We don't need their lumber. We have to unrestrict them because stupid people put, you know, restrictions on, but I can do that with an executive order. We don't need anything they have. We don't need their dairy products. We have more than they have. We don't need anything. So why are we losing $200 billion a year and more to protect Canada? And I said that to, as I called him, Governor Trudeau. I said, listen, what would happen if we didn't subsidize you, if we didn't, because we give them a lot of money. We help them. As an example, we're buying icebreakers, and Canada wants to join us in the buying of icebreakers. I said, you know, we don't really want to have a partner in the buying of icebreakers. We don't need a partner. But no right. Nope, no right. Here's what we have. We have a right not to help them with their financial difficulties because we owe $36 trillion too. We're going to start knocking it out pretty fast, but we're going to be able to do it because of energy and other things. But no right. No right. But why are we supporting a country, 200 billion plus a year? Our military is at their disposal. All of these other things, they should be a state. That's why I told Trudeau when he came down, I said, what would happen if we didn't do it? He said Canada would dissolve. Canada wouldn't be able to function if we didn't take their 20% of our car market. You know, they send us hundreds of thousands of cars. They make a lot of money with that. They send us a lot of other things that we don't need. We don't need their cars, and we don't need the other products. We don't need their milk. We got a lot of milk. We got a lot of everything, and we don't need any of it. So I said to him, well, why are we doing it? He said, I don't really know. He was unable to answer the question, but I can answer it. We're doing it because of habit, and we're doing it because we like our neighbors, and we've been good neighbors, but we can't do it forever, and it's a tremendous amount of money. And why should we have a $200 billion deficit and add on to that many, many other things that we give them in terms of subsidy? And I said, that's okay to have if you're a state. But if you're another country, we don't want to have it. We're not going to have it with European Union either.
Look, there's a lot to unpack here, but one thing is for sure, Trump is definitely right that Canada, we are a deadbeat neighbor. It truly feels like our country is that guy who shows up to a group dinner and then mysteriously disappears to the bathroom when it's time to pay the bill. And for so long, our country has relied on America to spend their money to build up their military to defend Canada. What's going to happen if Canada ever gets invaded by another country? We can't defend ourselves. We obviously need America. And after Trump's press conference, Trudeau ran to X to put out this tweet here that's going viral. Our recently resigned prime minister saying there isn't a snowball's chance in hell that Canada would become part of the United States. Workers and communities in both our countries benefit from being each other's biggest trading and security partner. And as I'm recording this video, we are still waiting on an update from Pierre Poilievre, who has not said anything about this. But we do know one thing is that Pierre Poilievre in a press conference last week said basically the same thing that Trudeau said. There's absolutely zero chance that Canada becomes the 51st state. Well, folks, we got ourselves some breaking news here at the desk. Just as I was finishing editing up this video, no surprise, Pierre Poilievre put out a statement on Canada becoming the 51st state. Pierre Poilievre put out this statement here saying Canada will never be the 51st state, period. We are a great and independent country. We are the best friend to the United States. We spent billions of dollars and hundreds of lives helping Americans retaliate against Al-Qaeda's 9/11 attacks. We supply the United States with billions of dollars of high quality and totally reliable energy well below market prices. We buy hundreds of billions of dollars of American goods. Our weak and pathetic NDP liberal government has failed to make these obvious points. I will fight for Canada. When I am Prime Minister, we will rebuild our military and take back control of the border to secure both Canada and the United States. We will take back control of our Arctic to keep Russia and China out. We will axe taxes, slash red tape, rapidly greenlight massive resource projects to bring home paychecks and production to our country. In other words, we will put Canada first. Damn. Powerful statement. Completely expected that from Pierre, though. And if this 51st state annexing actually ever really happened, this is what it would look like.
But what if Canada became the 51st state of the United States? If Canada joined the US, the flag would gain a 51st star, and the US would become the largest country in the world, covering 19 million square kilometers, overtaking Russia. Canada's 40 million people would increase.
So we would actually become bigger than Russia. We would become the world's biggest country.
increased the U.S. population to 373 million, keeping it third in global rankings behind India and China. Economically, Canada's 2.9 trillion GDP would make it the third wealthiest state, just after California and Texas. The U.S. defense budget would grow by $26 billion, and American dominance in the Arctic would expand, reinforcing its global influence. However, this merger would spark international concerns. Russia could bolster its Arctic military presence, while China might have to rethink its strategies in the Pacific. Mexico, heavily dependent on the U.S., would face pressure to diversify its partnerships to maintain economic stability.
Interesting. Look, when it comes to becoming the 51st state, I mean, it does kind of sound like a good deal. I mean, I'm just keeping it real here on a surface level. Trump said he would reduce our taxes by 60%. We would finally have a world-class military. We would be part of a world-class superpower, and we would be able to travel all over the United States with no passport. That actually sounds kind of awesome. But on the flip side, it pisses me off that Trudeau put us in this position to begin with. We all know if Stephen Harper was still the prime minister, this would have never happened. Trudeau made us so weak that countries literally think they could take us over. But one wild card in this entire situation that makes things really interesting is Elon Musk, who in the last week has been praising Pierre Poilievre nonstop. It might just actually throw a wrench into Trump's plans. It all started when Pierre Poilievre and Jordan Peterson did the podcast the other day, and Elon Musk quote tweeted it here and said, "Great interview." Now here's where things get even more interesting, as for the first time ever on X, Elon Musk responded to one of my tweets. A couple of days ago, I put out this tweet here on X, saying, should Joe Rogan invite Pierre Poilievre on his podcast? Is this something you would watch? But what happens next is absolutely shocking, as Elon Musk responds to my tweet here and says, yes, Elon Musk wants Pierre Poilievre to do the Joe Rogan podcast. But what happens next is even crazier, as Elon Musk goes on a Pierre Poilievre posting spree on X and appears to really like this guy. Today on X, Elon Musk continues posting about Pierre Poilievre and sharing the famous Apple video, calling it a masterpiece. And Elon Musk wasn't done just yet, as he posted another Pierre Poilievre clip on the same day here that's going mad viral with 300,000 likes, 63,000 retweets, 24 million views in less than a day, where he says that this clip of Pierre Poilievre is perfectly articulated.
Yes.
What are the steps that need to be taken to fix the damages done to inflation?
First and foremost, stop the overspending. Inflation, high taxes, deficits, high interest rates are all symptoms. The disease is overspending. When governments spend too much money, there's only three ways to get it. One is to raise your taxes. The other is to borrow, which means that they'll tax you more later on. And the third way is to print money. Now, printing money seems like a painless way to pay for things, but it's very simple. If you have 10 apples and $10 in the economy, it's a bucket apple. If you double the number of dollars in the economy to 20, you still only have 10 apples. You're not twice as rich, it's just that each apple costs twice as much. And that is a tax on the working people, because it chews up the purchasing power of your paycheck, only to pay for excessive government spending, and it balloons the asset values of the billionaires. So it's a real transfer from the have-nots to the have-yachts. Inflation is the worst and most immoral tax.
Correct.
It always results from government creating cash. Our government has created about $700 billion of cash in the last 3 years. So we used to have $1.8 trillion of bills, coins, and bank deposits. That was about 3-4 years ago. Now it's up to 2.5 trillion. So that's extra cash, but the economy has only grown by 4%. So the real things in the economy have only grown by 4%. The cash has grown by 40. So the money supply is growing 10 times faster than the stuff money buys, which creates a bidding war, and that's what's driving up inflation. We have to cap government spending with a dollar-for-dollar law that requires my ministers find $1 of savings for every new dollar of spending, so that they go into their departments, find the waste and mismanagement. They want to spend more here, they have to spend less there, or get a bargain here and there to bring both under budget. Then and only then will we stop the money printing, borrowing, and overtaxation and wrestle inflation to the ground. Thank you.
So yes, folks, it went from Elon Musk casually finding out about Pierre Poilievre to basically being in love with Pierre Poilievre. It appears to be a full-blown bromance at this point. And for all of you who are worried about Canada becoming the 51st state, just relax, let this all play out. It appears that Elon Musk really likes Pierre Poilievre and loves Canada. We'll see how this plays out, but Elon Musk really liking Pierre definitely plays to Canada's advantage. And this clip by Pierre Poilievre did not just catch Elon Musk's attention, it caught Sean Maguire's attention, who's a partner at Sequoia Capital, who is a giant VC firms who invests in startups. And he had this to say: Canada is about to flip from being the world's laughingstock to having a Javier Milei level goat as prime minister. The Trump effect. So yes, the big money players appear to want to invest into Canada again as long as Pierre Poilievre's the prime minister. But he did point out one thing that's really interesting. He said a Javier Milei goat. Now for Pierre to be Javier Milei, he's going to have to reduce the size of the government by a lot. And I asked you guys on X, how much should we reduce the size of the government? And this is what you had to say. I put out this poll a couple of days ago and it got 2,700 votes here. I'm asking you guys, how big would you go? Barely nobody, under 1% said no cuts. Okay, we're cutting things. 6% said 1 to 25%. So it really is a choice between either we cut 26 to 50%, which is 40% of the vote, but the majority of Canadians want at least 51% of the government to get reduced. But I'm curious to know, for my audience on YouTube, what percentage of the government would you cut if you had that power? Tell me in the comments down below. In our next story of the night, a Dairy Queen in British Columbia is going absolutely viral for offering a special on Trudeau's resignation day. Now, I put out this post here on X saying, spotted in Langley, BC, Dairy Queen is offering $2 burgers to celebrate the resignation of Justin Trudeau. Which is a hilarious sign here with the Trudeau resignation special, $2 burgers. Damn. Trudeau's resignation is already fixing food inflation, for the record. But this tweet has gone viral here with 22,000 likes, 3,500 retweets. The people love this, but guess who did not? The left. Once the I Stand With Trudeau Karens got their eyes on this, they lost their bloody minds. Look what they had to say. Full meltdown. Nancy writes, this is how one store takes down an entire company across Canada. Congratulations, Dairy Queen. You managed to piss off the majority of Canadians, really, the majority, with this sign and head office silence. F MAGA, Dairy Queen boycott. Yeah, they're pissed. Democratic Grenlin writes, literally boycotting Dairy Queen from now on. Don't need politics with low-grade ice cream. Not today, not tomorrow. And Claude wrote this, really, Dairy Queen, for a Canadian company to post such a tweet is truly disgusting to me. They didn't post a tweet. It was a picture at their store. I will not give you my business going forward. Going forward, your business can absolutely go F yourself. Wow. But the I Stand With Trudeau Karens weren't done just posting on X. They had to take it to the next level, and off they went to the Google reviews for this location. Shout out to Bratney for getting us these reviews. But yeah, let's cue the violin for this. Jesse Stokes writes, the franchise owner here is completely out of line and unprofessional, posting politics on his advertising board. Shame. 1 out of 5. Atmosphere, 1 out of 5. Or how about this one from Annie Fanny? How dare you insult so many people? with the anti-Trudeau slogan on your billboard. Take it down! Disgraceful! And he gives this restaurant a 1 out of 5, 1 out of 5 food, 1 out of 5 service, and 1 out of 5 atmosphere. Did she even try the food? Or how about this one from Chair Conant, another 1-star review here. A business that puts up a billboard to disparage a leader of the country is ridiculous. Stick to cooking your beef and horse burgers. Are you giving back any of that business money to the illiberals gave you during the worldwide pandemic or the worldwide recession? Probably not. 1 out of 5 food, 1 out of 5 service, 1 out of 5 atmosphere from Chair Conant. Unhinged. And of course, this boycott did absolutely nothing at all, as the Dairy Queen was absolutely packed for this Trudeau resignation burger special. All right, I'm going to have to mute the audio on this one because of copyright, but look what happened. Look what happened. Went viral today after posting this message. Guess what happened next? Look at this. The Dairy Queen is packed. Look at this. It's the winter. People are going to Dairy Queen in the winter. People are having a great time. Look at that. Oh, beautiful family enjoying those $2 F Trudeau burgers. Goodbye, Justin Trudeau. Is this the owner here, Steven? If so, shout out to this owner. And even one of my followers on X by the name of Kurlander said, "Oh snap, that's right down the street from me." Which I said, go interview the owner and show him this post. And he sent this text. Well, his wife sent him this text. You think I should swing down by now? Yeah, why not? $2 is crazy, LOL. He'll probably sell out because this photo is going around X. Well, I can swing by now before picking up ... But if I have to wait a long time, forget it. Also, they must have a limit. Yeah, I wouldn't wait if there's a big lineup. His wife responds, I got 6 burgers, $2 special. I didn't order a lot because it will take some time to cook. And guess what? Here are the burgers. One of my followers on X took advantage of this $2 Trudeau resignation special. Beautiful. What these I Stand With Trudeau Karens need to realize is that the majority of Canadians are happy that Trudeau is going to resign. Yes, these people are truly the freak fringe minority who still support this guy, who are totally crazy and absolutely unhinged. They don't represent the real Canada. All right, folks, that's it for today's episode, but tell me in the comments down below, what do you think about Trump's recent threats? Would you like to become a part of America, or do you want Canada to stay Canada? I want to hear it in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed today's show, smash subscribe, like this video, drop a comment, tell your friends about that ridiculous bald guy on YouTube, named The Pleb. My name is The Pleb, and I'll see you at the next report. Peace.